Karnataka has their newly elected Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai, but he is meanwhile in the national capital, Delhi. That perhaps likely to meet senior netas of the party. Bommai has a power-packed meeting lined up for him. He's already met Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, showering him with the traditional wear as well. He will be meeting other ministers. Also, his meeting with Home Minister Amit Shah is likely to take place shortly. Now, he is currently in Delhi, and even at the Parliament to possibly meet the Home Minister. He will pay a visit, a courtesy call to Prime Minister Narendra Modi at 4 p.m. Bommai's meeting with JP Naddatoday, the party president, is also scheduled. This is the first visit, but there will be another visit to discuss cabinet expansion. That will now be Bommai's biggest challenge because there are different factions to consider. What happens to the turncoats who left other parties, came to Karnataka BJP, got even berths in Yediyurappa cabinet? Will they be alienated when the new guard is brought in? Amid the former ministers, R. Ashok, Umesh Katti were even in Delhi lobbying for a berth in the new Bommai cabinet. But former Chief Minister and former Minister Jagdish Shettar has already opted out of the cabinet race.
They have formed the government only with the help of the MLAs from the Congress party. So are they going to keep up the word what they given to them, or they're going to have new youngsters? Because I just saw yesterday former Chief Minister Mr. Jagdish Shettar, he said he's not going to be the part of the cabinet. And I heard various things about what the Nalin Kumar Katil, their president, talking about Mr. Ishwarappa also.
Now remember, while the Bommai cabinet is going to be discussed, what happens, what will be the deliberations and discussions? Let me now bring you up to speed with that. On number one will be the defectors that they have to consider, accommodating the defectors, the ones who left other parties, joined the Bharatiya Janata Party, and how will they now get a position in Bommai cabinet. Number two, inducting Yediyurappa loyalists. Remember, that will be very crucial, could have been one of the preconditions for a smooth exit of Yediyurappa and leave his chief minister's position. Ensuring caste and community balance, an important factor, especially knowing that Lingat leader Basavaraj Bommai, again, after Yediyurappa got that position, that also will have to be taken into consideration. But what happens to the political experienced faces, the old guard? If the BJP wants to bring in new faces, fresh faces, what happens to the ones who have had experience of political expertise in Karnataka? Nagarjun Dwarkanath now joins us from Bengaluru. Nagarjun got us the first info. He got us the exclusive interview. You have all the latest inside information. Do you think it's going to be the first test for Bommai? What are the names you're picking up, Nagarjun?
Well, that's true, Pooja. In fact, the cabinet expansion might also be delayed, even though he's meeting the Prime Minister, Home Minister, and also Nadda, the party president. It might not happen in the next couple of days is what we are picking up. He'll have to come back and also talk to the senior party leaders here. He'll have to have discussion with others who are aspirants here. And then it might happen in August 1st week. But a clear message has been sent out from the party, be it state and central, that they have to have young faces in this cabinet. So the seniors might be dropped. And picking this hint, Jagdish Shettar himself came out and put out a statement that he doesn't want to be a part of this cabinet because he's already been a chief minister. So working under someone quite junior is not okay for him. And there are also other seniors who might be dropped. Ishwarappa is one such name that we are picking up. But he's been mounting pressure on the party through other seers of his community to make sure that he is not dropped. And many underperforming members of the previous erstwhile BSY cabinet also will be dropped. And the names that we are picking up is Shashikala Jolle, Ishwarappa, Prabhu Chauhan, Srimant Patil. These are few ministers that were in BSY cabinet, might not likely to get the cabinet berth in this cabinet. But at the end of the day, this cabinet will have a stamp of high command, unlike the BSY cabinet where he had a say in picking his members of the team. But here it seems like it might be completely high command choice, keeping the 2023 elections in mind. The message is clear to Mr. Bommai here from the high command that we need young faces, administration should be absolutely good, and development should be the priority, and then we go to the elections to defeat Congress and JDS in Karnataka. That's the message, and Bommai cabinet most likely will be phases with that expectation.
And of course, Nagarjun, all eyes will be on all the updates that you'll also be sending, because Nagarjun has been getting us all the latest. Now, the names that he has suggested, and he says according to his sources, could be probable mantris. Let me now bring you up to speed with that. K. Purnima, BJP MLA, may now make the cut. Also, Sunil Kumar, we are hearing from our sources, could be in the new Bommai cabinet. What about Muni Ratna, BJP MLA, Raju Gowda, and also P. Rajiv? Some of these names have come up by our sources that they could be inducted as fresh faces into the Basavaraj Bommai cabinet for Karnataka. Listen in now to former Chief Minister of Karnataka, B.S. Yediyurappa. He has said he will not interfere in the Bommai cabinet decision meeting. He will let the new Chief Minister take the call. Listen into that.
ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಅವರು. ನಾನು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರವೇಶ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರು, ಇವೇನೇ ಮಾತಾಡೋದಾದ್ರೂ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಮುಗಿದಂತ ಬೇಕಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಸವರಾಜ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಕಾಣಬೇಕೆ ಹೊರತು ನನ್ನ ಒತ್ತಡ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೂಡದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಬಸವರಾಜ ಬೊಮ್ಮಾಯಿ ಯಾರು ಸೂಕ್ತ ಅಂತಾರೋ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಮಂತ್ರಿಮಂಡಲ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಸ್ವಾತಂತ್ರ್ಯ ಅವ್ರಿಗಿದೆ.
Remember, it will not be that easy because there are many loyalists of B.S. Yediyurappa and in his cabinet who may not make the cut. K.S. Ishwarappa, former Deputy Chief Minister, Shashikala Jole, also a former minister here, including Kota Srinivas Puri. They may not make the cut in the new cabinet for now, is what we are hearing. MTB Nagaraj and Srimant Patil are also some of the names that may not continue. K. Gopalaya, a former minister, an experienced face but may not be in the fresh faces, so to say, of the Bommai cabinet. R. Shankar, we are also hearing, may not make the cut. Remember, these for now are source-based information. Final decision will be taken, but it will not be easy because there will be a lot of factions who need to be placated. For that, I want to go across again to Nagarjun Dwarkanath. He is in Bengaluru. Nagarjun, it will be imperative, even though Yediyurappa says, I'm not going to interfere, the fact is that there are his loyalists. He will definitely have preconditions. He has made the exit look very smooth. But do you think that's going to be playing at hand for Bommai? Over to you.
Well, definitely it's not as simple as it seems to be outside when Mr. Yediyurappa himself said that he's not going to interfere in this cabinet expansion. It's up to the High Command, it's up to the Chief Minister. But however, what's in politics, what's on said on record, it's completely opposite most of the time. So BSY will definitely try to arm twist the present Chief Minister and put his members inside the cabinet. So even if the Chief Minister moves out of his clutches tomorrow, at least he will have a hold of 10 to 12 departments is what BSY feels. But will the High Command allow this to happen? That's the big question. So all eyes on Amit Shah and JP Nadda. If will they accommodate BSY's close aid and confidence in this cabinet, or will it be complete Bommai and High Command cabinet is the big question. But definitely there is a list that BSY will discuss with Mr. Bommai as to who should be the probable candidates from his side, because he has a vast experience of 30 to 40 years and that might be of use is what Bommai says. But however, it will not be accommodated as easily as possible is what we are picking up, because High Command wants to take complete control of the cabinet and they want to give out a clear message that they are under control and administration is the priority. The only negotiation that can happen is the defected MLAs who came from Congress and JDS. They might have some bargaining power, but the core BJP MLAs, I don't think they have any bargaining power, because it is completely up to the High Command and the Chief Minister here. So it's a tough task cut out for Mr. Bommai here in Karnataka. In the next 1 week, there will be repercussions of aspirants who don't make the cut, who don't get the cabinet berth. In next 2 months, they will also have some frustration and come out and make public statements.
And,
so it's up and down for BJP
Nagarjun, with these permutations, combinations, would the BJP top leadership and Basavaraj Bommai want to ruffle feathers with Yediyurappa? Thank you so much for all the latest on that. Remember, Yediyurappa has made it look easy, but there will be a lot more that the BJP has to consider.